Good morning and welcome. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK, and welcome to my very messy craft room. I've been prepping some classes and things, and chaos ensues. So that's one of my jobs for today. But for now, we're going to be doing some crafting. We might be scrabbling around to find a few things, but we're going to be doing some crafting. So let me introduce myself. This is me, www.Love-a-Duckie.co.uk. Let's just take that out of the way for a moment. And that is my website, and that is where you can find me. You can find lots of inspiration, links to my classes, tutorials to download, links to the shop, all of those sorts of things you'll find over on my website. So do go and head over and have a look over there. And some of the classes that you will currently find are the upcoming classes for April. We've got a Ladybug One Sheet Wonder, we've got an amazing silhouette stamper stack class, and we have our Symbols of Fortune stamp camp, which is exciting. We're sort of preparations are well underway for that. 13 demonstrators from around the world. You buy the suite from one of us and you get access to an exclusive Facebook group where you will get the tutorial bundle with video links and make and take packs for 13 tutorials using the Symbols of Fortune products. And then in that exclusive Facebook group, you will get to see a further 13 tutorials, demonstrations for 13 more projects that you can create using that Symbols of Fortune suite. So excellent value. The retreat is coming up in June, so if you would like to join me for my all-day retreat, all food included, we feed you till you can eat no more. Obviously, we take account of any dietary requirements and things. You get a goodie bag worth in excess of £50 that you're going to get if you come along on that day, and the whole day just to relax, to craft, to have some fun, to eat, all in a beautiful setting in Wadno Village Hall, which is along by the river, and it's rather beautiful. And on a June day, we never know, we might get some sunshine, who knows. And so as we're coming up, I'm going to come back to this. We'll come back to that. We'll have a midway break and we'll come back to the other slides that I've got there. Otherwise, yeah, it's like a commercial, isn't it? We'll have a commercial break halfway through. So let me bring in my downward facing camera. Let me bring on, actually, before I disappear, let me bring back up the April host code. So you'll find at the bottom there, not only is there my website that you can find me, but you'll also find the April host code there that you're going to be able to use if you are shopping with me this month. Okay, let's bring in this downward facing camera. Oh, let's turn on our light. That might make a little bit of difference. And let's have a little look. Now, obviously, we're well into last chance and the products and things that are going to be disappearing. Morning, Lisa. And I thought we'd have a bit of a play today. We'll do sort of a traditionally girl set, let me tuck that out the way, and a traditionally boy set. Both of these are going to be disappearing. So the handsomely suited and the dressed to impress are both going to be disappearing from our catalogues at the end of April. What month are we in? Sooner if stocks run out. So those are two things that are on the last chance list. So there's both the stamps and the dies, although they're not necessarily bundled. You get both the stamps. Let's get the right dies and the dies. These dies we're going to have a play with. These aren't disappearing. These are staying. But the dress to impress, the all dressed up dies, the handsomely suited and the suit and tie dies, they are all going to be disappearing. Oh, sounding a bit croaky. Good job, I've got my water on standby. Right, so let's start with the Dress to Impress. Now, this has been around for a couple of years. In fact, I can remember playing with this at the last chance we had to get together at a big on stage in Germany. So that's been a couple of years since that's been launched. But yes, the Dressed to Impress. So it's a lovely little set. You've got shoes, perfume bottles, lipsticks, and pretty flowers and foliage. Some great sentiments in there. Be bold as your lipstick. Hello, fabulous. Life is short, buy the shoes. Happy Mother's Day. Kindness is always in style. And then you get these sort of watercolour wash pieces that you can use behind those stamped images. So it is a lovely stamp set. And the dies, obviously you've got the dies that are going to die cut some of those stamped images. You've got fabulous buttons and buckles and things, because also with this dies, if I swing it over, you get this lovely die that you can create like a little bag with. Great little backpacks or shoulder bags, all sorts of things. Hence you've got buckles and buttons and things that will go with that, and pockets. So a great set of dies and stamps. So if you haven't got them, well worth looking out for. And I thought that we'd have a bit of a play with the Picture This dies. And I think we're going to go with this one. So I ummed and ahed whether to go circular or with the rectangular ones. I think we're going to go rectangular. That's not easy to say. I'm actually going to grab some. Let's go in colours, retiring in colours, and let's go Magenta Madness. Hold on with 1 second. I'd already picked out in colours for the other one, so let's go in colours for this one as well. So obviously the Magenta Madness is one of the 2020 to 2022 in colours. So we're going to be saying goodbye to all of those as well. So let's use those as well as retiring stamp sets. Oh, you can see I've been trimming things up. Let's move those out the way, and I'm going to cut this to 10 by 14.4. And then I'm going to die cut. Picture this frame from the centre of there. Right, just run that through. Your labels, or use the die to die cut your apertures, or of course best of all use it to die cut your apertures, and then make sure that you use your labels for something else. So there is our apertures cut. Now I'm just wondering, let me go and grab an embossing folder. I think let's have a look. Now I've grabbed the Tasteful Textile. Not sure whether that is carrying over or not. Let me just check. No, it isn't. So this is a retiring embossing folder as well. So a really nice one, because it does give you that sort of look of, it's like upholstery fabric. And it's a 3D embossing folder. So let's emboss that as well as die cut it. Oh, we are piling in the last chance goodies. But not the picture this dies. They are definitely staying. You may have heard all my plates crashing to the floor. So I don't know how well you're going to be able to pick up that embossed detail in the background there. But really pretty. I just had a momentary question of myself then. Yes, the picture this dies are very definitely carrying over. I thought to myself, they are, aren't they? They are carrying over, aren't they? Please tell me they are. Don't want you telling me I'm fibbing to you. Right, I'm going to take a piece of basic white card and I'm going to cut it. I think I'm going to go 13.9 by 9.5 because I want it to sit underneath. My embossed piece. I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm just going to mark the insides of my apertures to give me targets to stamp into. And I am going to need a post-it note. Right, so let's come on in here. Let's bring in our shoe. Hi, Jane. We're playing with the Dressed to Impress. So we've die cut our picture this frame. We've embossed it with the textile embossing folder. Excuse me one moment. Can't ignore that ding dong. It's Mr. Brown with actually two parcels. Right, so I've got my Memento ink here and my shoe. And I'm going to stamp this shoe just slightly right of the centre. And then stamp it again onto a post-it note. This is an all-over sticky post-it note. So it doesn't matter where I stamp it on this sheet. Let's just quickly cut round here. By my heel and round here. I haven't got any stilettos like these days. Used to back in the day, but now it's far more about what's comfortable. And these look glamorous, but not at all comfortable. Right, let's bring in our other shoe. And we'll stamp that next to this one, just here. Let's remove our post-it, and then we've got a nice pair of shoes. That one should have been heeled down slightly, but never mind. I'm sure that that will be fine. Then got quite a few little flowers in here. So this one, there's a slightly bigger one just here. Let's start with the bigger one. Let's have this smaller one. So we're going in the top frame with these. Also got some little bobbly bits. Obviously it doesn't matter if we go off the edge of the frame because that's just going to not show. So there we have a little bouquet in the corner there. Shoes in the bottom. Now there's a nice little greeting in here that says, "Life is too short, buy the shoes." Let's have that. We'll line that up in that centerpiece just there. Now I'm going to take this blobby bit just here and my Magenta Madness ink pad. And let's use that to add some colour to our shoes. That wasn't a very good one, was it? It's because I didn't have my mat underneath it. That's better. And then we'll bring in these little blobs just here for our flowers. Have that one in pink. To bring in some bumblebee. Lost my shoe. With the photopolymer ones, if they do start to lose their sticky, you can just wash them under the tap. Give them a bit of a refresh and a boost. To come in with some Just Jade. And I think this little one again, excuse me, stretching over. Seem to have ink all over my block as well. Let's get rid of that. Just going to put the back of this stamp onto my mat as well. Hopefully get rid of some of the fluffy. And let's bring in our Just Jade. I'm going to stamp that off a little bit Then we've got this other long watercolour bit that you can use to colour up your lipsticks if you're using the lipstick stamp. I think we're going to come in with Bumblebee on there. And we have a little blobby stamp. Do love a blobby stamp. Let's bring in a little bit more Just Jade with the blobs. I'm going to stamp them off again just so that they're not too and let's just add a few little spots in here too. Okay, now we're going to be able to bring back in, if we put it the right way, our if we turn it over the right way, our overlay. Let's shut those up. Excuse my arm. My eraser seems to have gone walkabouts. I'm not going to worry too much. Let's just pop it on, and I think it'll be probably pretty invisible once that's back in place. Now I know this glue is nearly out. Let's go for an easier option. I've got a nice basic white card base just here. Put this on some dimensionals. We've got some big ones. Yes, we have. Actually going to bring in this. If you're wondering what this is, so it's like a fluffy twine. It's actually where I have pulled my frayed, so the white frayed ribbon where I've pulled to make tassely bits, and has created this rather nice fluffy white. Actually, I don't know whether a tassel wouldn't be quite fun on there. Shall we add a tassel? Let's. So let's take some frayed white ribbon and just pull this thread till you're happy with your fringing is as long as you want it to be. And I'm going to chop this off, and as you can see, I've been saving these bits, but we are actually going to use a bit of that in a minute. Let's take this and tie it round here. Fingers and thumbs. And just do a double knot just to make sure it's quite nice and tight, and then trim this off. Bring in my ribbon scissors and chop that off. I'm actually going to grab my Magenta Madness blend. I'm going to get the light one, I think, and just with the brush end. Let's add some colour to the bottom of that fringe. I think I will bring in the dark one. The pink one is quite sort of fluorescent, isn't it? The light one. So, bringing in the dark one right on the end, I think. It's sort of almost two-tone. Let's bring some of our fluffy twine around here. It's lovely because it does have this texture to it as well. Sort of just stick to your fingers, isn't the easiest to tie with. Let's chop that off. I'm going to curl that bottom over. And let's add that in. Ooh, with my glue dots, if I can find them. I tried to put those away, but I'd obviously put the box back, but there's nothing in the box. Can I see them? Not obviously. Right, let's have a dig about and find. I'm going to use some of these leftover from kit glue dots for now. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to pop a glue dot in the middle to fold that over. Might do the same again. Fold it over again. And then we'll put a little glue dot on the back. In fact, I might even put two. One. Two. And we'll pop that under our little bow just there. Now have quite a funky little tassel going on just there. this on with some dimensionals. To raise it up a little bit. Take those backs off. That's rather fun. And then we've got some of the in colour gems just here. One just there. So there we are. There's a fun girly card. Life is too short. Buy the shoes. So let's stick with our in colours, but let's sort of swap up and look at a bit more of a masculine card. Just move some of this out of the way. I'll hang on to my mask for now. There's no reason why I can't use them again once you've cut them out. I was actually quite surprised there wasn't one in there, because I know that I've masked those shoes before, but then it probably was quite a little while ago. Just clean up the dotty stamp and the dotty block. Bring that back in. Pop my little right. Let's come over now and have a look at these handsomely suited. So I've got some really lovely ties in here. Again, some great sentiments. Have a happy Father's Day, handsome. You can, of course, cut all of those up if you want to. A happy birthday to you. Thank you to one of the world's greatest dads. You're the best. And then you've got the dies that will cut out your ties. You've also got buttons in there. You've got this nice sort of strip that you can use for your shirt front, makeup suit jackets, shirts, all sorts of things, braces. Got all sorts of elements in there, pockets, lots of things to create cards to dress those men in your life. So I have actually got some in colour oddments here. There's a bit of cinnamon cider, a bit of just jade, a bit of misty moonlight. We take these tie stamps, so the long ties, I think, and they are just going to fit on a H. I didn't know whether they would, but they will just fit on a H block. So this is the, got two bits there. Yeah, this is the sort of checkered effect tie. I'm going to grab the cinnamon cider ink. And I'm going to stamp I'm going to go this way, I think, because that's longer than the ink pad. Let's put some cinnamon cider ink onto that tie. And we'll stamp that onto some cinnamon cider cardstock. Rather fun. And I'm going to take the stripy tie and some Misty Moonlight. So obviously these ink colours are also going to be disappearing. The Misty Moonlight, the Cinnamon Cider, the Just Jade. They're all on a get them while you can. If you've got the ink pads but you haven't got the ink refills, make sure that if they're still available, you stock up on those. Do just go and check out that last chance section on the shop to see what is going. Make sure that you don't miss out on anything that you have loved and have put off getting up until now. Right, there's a Just Jade tie. And we do have dies. I'm going to cut these all out. So let's do that. Bring in our mini machine for that one. Actually, that will fit